are not being lazy. Your brain is protecting you. Here is neuroscience-based cure for laziness that you might not want to hear. More in today's video. If you're feeling lazy, don't feel bad about yourself. It has more to do with your brain than with your character. Here are two main reasons why your brain makes you feel lazy. The first one, you set tasks that are too big and overwhelming. When a task is big or overwhelming, what the brain does is it sees it as a threat. When the brain sees something as a threat, it releases chemicals that are in charge of stress response. Those chemicals in turn will inhibit prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain that is in charge of decision making and of working. So when you set too big of a task, what basically happens in your brain, the brain is preparing you for the fight or flight mode and not for working. That is the reason number one, the task being too big and overwhelming. Reason number two for laziness is low dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical in our brain that is in charge of our motivation. Basically, dopamine is released when we get a reward. So we do an action A, the action brings us a reward, the dopamine is released and we feel happier. That is a way for our brain to motivate us to do actions that will bring us reward. Because we know as humans, if I do an action A, I will feel happy. So let me do it. And you feel happy because of the dopamine. If you don't feel motivated, maybe there is something going on with your dopamine in your brain, and that is why you feel lazy. After we've seen two main reasons to why you feel lazy, let's see how to fix them. Number one, if the task is too big and too overwhelming, then you should chunk it to smaller pieces. I want to record YouTube videos for 2 months. Let that be 15 videos, for example. If I say I'm going to record 15 videos, I notice that I procrastinate. And this is the signal to me that something is wrong, because normally I don't feel lazy. Instead of saying I'm going to record 15 videos, I say to myself, I'm going to record 3 videos today. And that feels better, it doesn't feel overwhelming, so I can do it. I'm not blocked and I don't feel lazy. So number one is to chunk big tasks or big goals into smaller ones. Number two is to implement your own reward system. If you feel lazy and unmotivated, maybe the action you're supposed to do is not rewarding. Let's say going to the gym can be a little bit boring and it doesn't bring you happiness, it doesn't produce dopamine. However, if you pair it with an action that makes you feel happy, you can induce this dopamine. I say to myself, if I go to the gym, after the gym, I can, for example, watch Netflix. And then I know if I go to the gym, I will have a rewarding activity later. My dopamine is going to be released and I will feel happier. So number two is to implement your own reward system. Number three is to delay easy dopamine. Easy dopamine are those hits that we get when we are scrolling on social media or eating junk food. You might think, but if I get a lot of dopamine hits on social media, isn't that good? Well, actually it's not. Because what happens when you're on TikTok or Instagram or in general using social media, a lot of dopamine is being released. However, what happens then is the dopamine will go quickly up, but then it will crash. Once the dopamine crashes, it's really low, and that is when you don't feel motivated, not even to get up. That's when bad rotting happens. When you spend too much time on social media and you have no more dopamine left to get up. That is why you want to reduce as much as possible easy dopamine, especially don't do it early in the morning, then you won't even have motivation to get up. Hack number 4 is to design your environment so that it makes it easier for you to work. When I need to record YouTube videos, what I do is I set up my camera. My brain picks up this cue from the environment, which is the camera, and as it associates the camera with recording YouTubes, it immediately makes me more motivated to do it, simply because it got a reminder from the environment. That is why you want to design your workspace and your environment to help you feel more motivated and less lazy. I hope you understood now that it's not you who is being lazy. Maybe you're just not working together with your brain. Try to implement some of these hacks and also subscribe to my channel because I talk a lot about all these hacks in some of my other videos. And if you want to bring this to the next level and get a personalized approach against laziness, you should schedule a free discovery call for my coaching. You can find the link for the discovery call in the description down below. During that call, we will decide whether you are a good fit for the program, and if yes, then we can work together. So, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.